Ron Holland from our Explorers Den with the one and only Richie Tarr. Richie, do you recognize my favorite T-shirt?
I do. Tie-dyed Bill Walton, baby. I love it.
My teammate got it for me, and I love it. So it's March 1st. We've both experienced March Madness conference tournament champions are starting. Rock, can you tell us, our fans, what it's like to prepare for a conference tournament championship and to go through one?
Well, I would tell you for me, who is a anxiety-ridden person, it's a it's a heightened level of anxiety. No kidding. It is because look, the bottom line is this, Ron, you lose and you're gone, right? And I can think back to my junior year. I believe we were playing Fairfield at the Meadowlands, and this is Lionel Simmons' freshman year, and we just had a bad night, bad shooting night. And as that game, they were winning, and as that game was getting closer and closer to the end, you just felt this feeling of defeat come across you, and you knew that it was over. And for the seniors, they thought it was over. But fortunately, because we had a guy like Lionel Simmons on our team, they picked us for the NIT. And I truly believe that's the only reason we got picked is because we had a highlight,
It helps.
high profile player. And then, of course, we were fortunate enough to go all the way to the finals of the NIT that year.
What a tremendous year. And, in the A10 this year, I think there could be six different teams cutting down the nets. So, for me, it was like you said, everything is heightened. Media is at practices, they're in the coach's office. Just an incredible time. But since March 1st, Dunph has been in the news. He's still in the news. And you talked to him before the Duquesne game on Wednesday, and you thought he was as relaxed as you've ever seen him.
Yeah, well, I'm chuckling about that now because I said that all that stuff I said was before the game, and I'm sitting across from him when the game started.
I
And
was behind him.
when the game started, I'm like, oh gosh, how he was himself. Like he was, you know, very driven, very animated. He was Dunph.
It was unbelievable. Let's just talk a little bit about the press conference, and more specifically, we're going to talk about coaching now. But his basic thing was be the best you can be with whom you are with at that time. And I'm going to put a graph up of some of the recent coaching legends who have retired. But even in the press conference, Rock, he would not, cast stones on the NCAA or the NIL. Just a class individual.
Well, yeah, it is what it is, right? I mean, that's the most important thing. And I think, the one thing I credit Fran with is he's a very smart guy. I've never seen him step out of character and say or do the wrong thing. Um, Never. And just seems to answer every question correctly with a humbleness, with an honest approach. He's not trying to pull one over on you. Um, but I got to tell you, these coaches have a very, very difficult job right now. I was thinking back to my first couple years at LaSalle, and they did not go very well for me. Um, and it looked like I probably was going to be buried moving forward. So after my sophomore year, I was looking to get out. And had they had anything like they have today, it probably would have ruined my career. I was very fortunate. I was looking to skip to Division II schools. I bring this up because right now you're in a situation where the season's coming to an end. You have some players that are, getting a lot of minutes, and you got players that are getting some minutes and players that aren't getting any minutes. Right now, you got a bunch of players on your team, and I'm not talking
That
about
are
LaSalle.
pissed
I'm
off.
talking about every team. They're planning their exit and looking for where's their next landing spot going to be, while you're, as a coach, are trying to win a championship and get your team to the NCAA tournament or NIT. But in either event, very difficult situation for coaches today.
And in the Atlantic 10, where, if you're not playing at your best this time of year, you're going to lose. And you could see that at the Duquesne game. We were right there, cut it to three. The one possession, we had three great looks at a 3 pointer, but it just isn't working out right now. But as you mentioned, I told you before we started recording this, I was watching the St. Joe's Fordham game. And Tim McCormick, who's doing the game, made an interesting point that we're sort of alluding to, is that coaches today, if they don't have great relationships with their players, the players just leave. And we're putting this tribute together for Dunph. We'll talk about it at the end of this, but over 40 years have gone by, and I feel personally my relationships with our coaches have grown. Kids today, if they don't get along with somebody, they leave.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's part of a society we live in today. I mean, if you watch that clip on Rick Pitino in his locker room, kind of going after his players, talking about, life's full of adversity, and, you don't quit when you run against adversity, you get tougher. Um, it's a message that a lot of kids today need to hear.
Boy, they certainly do. So last time we played GW, it was one of our better games. Mac ETN, I thought, dominated down the stretch inside, but since then we've been on a 6-game streak. So at this time of the year, Rock, as we talked, it's not about GW today; it's about LaSalle. So what are some of the things that maybe we aren't doing real well that we need to improve upon to finish this season strong, and specifically today to get a win at GW?
Well, to your point, forget about GW, because it's not about moving forward. It's not about the opponents. It's strictly about what are we doing as a team. As a player, am I setting good ball screens? Am I cutting hard? Am I making an efficient pass where my teammate can catch it and shoot it instead of maybe reaching for it and then the defense recovers before I can shoot the basketball? Are you boxing out? It's what it's about right now. And by this point in the season, they should all recognize that they can't win it by themselves. They need their teammates. Something really special could happen here if they can just come together
Sure,
as
absolutely.
as a unit. I think you just take one game at a time here, and it's all about the tournament moving forward. But you got to finish the season. I'd like to see a few wins just to get some confidence going into the tournament.
So would I, and like you said, you never know. Great performance today at GW could propel that. So that's what we're hoping for. That's for sure. Last thing, Richie, we've been working on. Everybody's doing a tribute for Dunph, but we feel our teammates and us wanted to put it together this little tribute. So we've been working on it really hard. We're going to drop it next Friday night before Dunph's last home game, last game. St. Joe's. It's going to be great. What are some of the things that fans can look forward to in this tribute, Richie?
Well, we've got Vince Kern coming on tomorrow. We got Dickie Weiss coming on eventually. Harry Donahue, Jerome Allen. Who else we got coming on?
We already got Phil Martelli.
Yep, we got Phil Martelli. I have to ask you: are we allowed to talk about what we already gave Dunph? Can we
Well,
mention
that's going to be the tease, Richie. The last part of the tribute. Tell the fans what we did and how he got it last night.
So we were able to see a video of Dunph, and Bron was very instrumental in making this happen, along with Ashley Howard at Villanova.
He was the man. Yeah, he was the man.
So we were able to get Bill Murray to do a tribute to Dunph and send it. We were able to send it to him, and we got some video of Dunph while they put it up on the big screen with his team last night down at GW, and he watched it in front of the team, and it was a special moment, and I was real happy that we were able to, as a group, come together and make something like that happen for him, because he's a big Bill Murray fan.
And rumor is the assistants tell me the last maybe movie he saw in a theater was Stripes. But what I thought was cool, Richie, is like literally minutes after he saw the video, he texted both of us because we were the ones responsible for giving it to him from our team, and he texted back 38. 38. These are 34s and they're loose. How am I going to live with this? And I just started laughing
Well, listen, it's nice to see Dunph uh, enjoy that moment and
and
have a
laugh.
sense.
He just
Of
laughed heartily.
yeah, he did.
So he, as we told him, he's our Sergeant Hawka. He's our big toe. And we hope the big toe can get it done today in the foggy bottom at GW. Richie, as we always end it,
Go
go
explore.
Explorers.